Greetings from sight. This goes all out to all those who are having issues with the spirit of bondage. What is the spirit of bondage? Well, we must identify with the strong man to get out of the spirit of bondage. So then we ask the Father, Abba, Yahushua, to give you the spirit of adoption. If the adversary comes back to you trying to oppress you, you have to use the sword of the Spirit, talked about in Ephesians 6:17, and simply personalize yourself in this verse. I have not been given the spirit of bondage again to fear, but I have received the spirit of adoption, whereas I cry, Abba, Yahuwah, my Father, protect me. See, many people won't realize that depression cannot be solved by the staff of Hermes. It can only be band-aided. It can only be suppressed. It cannot be cured. Depression comes from demonic spirits, and the spirit that is behind depression is what we call the spirit of heaviness, and this is explained in Isaiah 61:3. The cure is to put on the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. Yahuwah inhabits the praise of his people. So where do you see this? This is in the prophets of Psalms 22:3. But you are holy, O you that inhabit the praises of Israel. In the presence of Yahuwah, obviously there is a fullness of joy. One cannot be depressed while dwelling in his presence, obviously, as 16:11 of Psalms tells us, you show me the path of life. In your presence is fullness of joy. At your right hand there are pleasures forevermore. You see, the King Shaul was a good example of a man who demonstrated basically a depressive disorder. The root of his problem stemmed from basically an unrepentant heart. King Saul had rebelled against the word of Yahuwah. Given through the prophet Samuel, he refused to acknowledge his sin and repent. And so Yahuwah sent him a tormenting spirit in order to humble him. When David, the humble little shepherd boy, came to play the harp for him, the praise music brought with it the presence of Yahuwah's spirit, and thus the demons that tormented Saul were temporarily bound and could not torment him. However, as soon as Saul was no longer abiding in the presence of Yahuwah, those tormenting spirits came back to him again. As is seen in Samuel 16:23, it came to pass when the evil spirit of Elohim was upon Saul, the David took a harp and played with his hands, so Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. Shalom.